Okay, I think. Oh, no, I was afraid of that. Sorry, my mic stand head is. Oh, no. It's gotten a little loose, and I don't know why. It's like the one part of it that doesn't have a knob to tighten it. And I had moved it around a different way yesterday, and I guess I just confused it, and now it hates me because it's. As long as we don't touch it, or like touch the air around it too much, it might be alright. Good morning, everybody. Happy Tuesday. Morning, Kristen. Morning, Hazel. Casey says hi. Sorry I'm a little late. I'm here now, and hopefully this stays put. We're gonna be doing our normal Tuesday programming of some mount runs in Gurub, because that's what we've been up to lately. See if we can't get some kind of a Raptor. I want to say it's the armored one. I think we're getting close to learning which one it is, anyways. Hey Hazel, hi Hazel, morning, hi Hazel, good morning, sup Bill? Hello Hazel, hope you're doing well. I am wonderful today. It was so beautiful out this morning. Like, it's one of those days where it's really cold, but it's really sunny. And it's just really pretty to go for a walk in the morning when it's like that. Although it is very cold, but I was not cold because I got these, like, Sherpa-lined pants. Like, I think it's like a synthetic lining, but what it you know those like fluffy blankets that are like super fluffy? It's like the inner of that, but like on your legs, on the inside. It's the best thing. So it's pretty impossible to be cold when you're wearing those. Hello, how is Everton doing? Everton. Do I have a pet named Everton? Or am I just really confused? I'm confused. Hey, how's the new computer? New computer is what's a good word? It's good. I ran through a few words that I wasn't allowed to say, but it's good. It's been working real good. I haven't had any I think I got all the drivers installed that I needed to, so I think everything's working as expected. The only thing I didn't take time to troubleshoot yet was I haven't looked through what the deal is with the second camera, like the pet camera. And I haven't even tried it again, so maybe it's fine, but I didn't set it up this morning. I ran out of time. So I figure I will mess with that later, and then hopefully have that back up and running for next stream. There's no reason why it wouldn't work. I may just need to find something to install, because I had like some weird stuff installed way back when to try and get multiple cameras running at once, but that was when they were both webcams. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna start on this character first. Can you see something? Oh, what's that? Currently making math notes. Good morning, Hazel. Late, trying to worry us. I'm here. I got my tea. I didn't have any breakfast yet, but I figure I can do that after that. Like, 10 o'clock's not that late to eat. I got some cereal in there. It'll be all good. Loved your pet PvP last Friday. Thank you. That's actually, I did a few, that's actually the last thing I did on this character. I'm still in this same spot that I was last Friday. You can tell me why I played over the weekend. Although in between doing that stream and, hang on, am I running right? No, I need to load up my synapse. In between doing that stream and now, I did queue more, later that night with all of those same teams. And I kept running, I think it was the Merkelot team. And I eventually, like, in part of it's just because with pet PvP, the pool of people is so small that you run into the same people over and over again. And I kept getting this one poor person, and we had like a couple really good matches with the same team. And my team just won by like a little bit every time, and then it won by a little bit more, and it won by a little bit more, and then he just started like instant conceding every time he queued into me. And the nice thing to do probably would have been to stop queuing, but they were really good wins. I only need another 16 wins now to get my Direhorn pet. So that'll be once I've got that, then I can afford to be generous, but then I can also afford to never queue again, so which may be being generous if I keep running that team. We're heading to Zolgrub. We can fly from Stormwind. That's not that bad. Wish it was cold here. Arizona is never cold. I'm learning to appreciate the cold. I didn't appreciate cold as a child. I just wanted to be warm again, but I really like wearing warm clothes, and I'm enjoying it more and more the older I get. Like a really nice fluffy coat, or that's like, you know, just got just the right amount of wind breaking, and maybe the hood fits just right, or like, you know that if it rains you're not going to get wet inside, or like some nice fluffy like leggings, like stuff. Warm clothes is just increasingly exciting to me. which is why I'm so happy about these fluffy lined pants. I'm not wearing them now, or else I would show you. I was so warm that I had to take them off once I got in. Nilsars, thanks for the super chat. Hazel, sorry for not being here. Been busy. Good luck with the mount farm. I'm probably gonna raid soon since it's raid night. Have a good raid night. I wish you the best of loot luck, and never apologize for being busy. If anything, I should apologize for not being busy enough. I wanted to have that computer video done by now, but it's not quite done. Maybe I'll finish up today. Shaken but not stirred here in Anchorage. Finally made it to a live stream. Good morning. Good morning, Eric. Party with Hazel. How are the fish doing? No tank cam today? No tank cam today. The fish are all fine. They're all a-okay. Their tank light's not on yet. After daylight savings, I didn't really fix the light. Well, I tried to fix the light timers, and I think I overcompensated in one, and then I didn't touch the other one, so one of them turns on like 2 hours earlier now. But the fish are all good. I cleaned on Sunday as I normally do. Saturday's like apartment cleaning day, and then Sunday's aquarium cleaning day. And when I say it like that, it sounds like it takes all day. It super doesn't. But I got in there and got it all cleaned out. I have some black beard algae in the 20 long, and it's not really spreading at a level that concerns me, but it's also not really going away. And based on forum posts I've read of other people that have battled it, it's probably going to get worse before it gets better. Or maybe it'll never get better. Maybe it's just doomed, but I keep, I just pull off as much of it as I can, and then I squirt a little bit of Excel on like I call them the spawn points. That's probably not what it's called, but like where the spores are. And that kind of helps. I probably just need to be more better at it. Cat, you coming up here? Hi, kitty. How you doing? Yeah. She was standing on a book, and I was tidying up, and I like moved the book a little bit while she was on it, because I figured she would just like scooch, and she was not happy about that. She's over it now, I think, but she doesn't like it when her floor moves. My first up here, I mean, yes, you are first. Welcome. I'm glad that I've got somebody to talk to. My dog heard you on my phone, thought a stranger was in the house, and panicked. That's a reasonable reaction. It's way easier to warm up than it is to cool down. That is true. That is true. And there's like all of the things that you do to warm up are like inherently pleasant, like a hot shower or a hot bath or a hot cup of tea or like a cuddle with like some blankets, or like, you make a blanket fort on the couch and you play some video games. Those are all wonderful like holiday, delights. Whereas if you're too warm and you're trying to cool down, you jump into cold stuff. So there's like cold showers, or I guess you can go swimming. But those things are inherently less comfortable, I think. Maybe it's just because I don't know. I haven't been swimming in a very, very long time. I can swim. I just haven't been in forever. I had someone insta-concede me like 5 times, felt bad, but I did get that achievement for winning a certain amount in a row without a pet dying. Well, there you go. It's kind of a fact of life, and I feel like it's, it goes both ways, especially like if I queue into something and I'm like halfway through a fight and I know I'm doomed, I usually just concede because it goes faster, and people queuing generally want faster games. It's cold today, like, which is, what? Hello, are you feeling all right today? I think I am. Although I always have really great mornings. I always wake up and I start my day and I'm just so excited about what I'm going to do and how great everything's going to go. And usually by like 11 o'clock, like a lot of that is gone, and then it just drains for the rest of the day. And then I get recharged in the next morning. So I try, whenever I have something really important to do that I know I want to do a really good job on, I try and schedule it first thing in the morning, because that's when I have all my juice. After that, I'm just juiceless. Which tea or drink are you drinking today? So this is English breakfast. It is the Tim Hortons tea bag English breakfast. It was the last bag from a box that was sent to me to my post office box from one of you guys. So I'm thinking I'm going back to Canada in actually a couple of weeks. I'm going back for Christmas, so I'm going to be gone the 23rd. I think I come back the 26th, like around, I'm gone for these 4. And while I'm there, I'm probably going to try and buy some more. It's not like it's life-changingly good breakfast tea, but I did drink a lot of it back when I was in Canada, so it's kind of like a nostalgic tea flavor. I got the blue proto-drake after only 10 runs the other day. I was so excited I might have actually screamed. There is nothing wrong with that. Congrats on your mount. You never have to do the Scotty gauntlet again. You're good. You're done. I love everything comfy. I have a small collection of blankets that I cocoon into on the couch. Yeah. We have a variety of blankets and then just pillows everywhere. And there's usually one within grabbing distance. And then in my office closet, I also keep like a secret. it's not a secret, nothing's a secret, but like an extra stash of like extra sweaters just in case I'm already wearing a sweater, but maybe I want another sweater. Although it doesn't stay super cold in here. This place is small enough that it's not super expensive to heat, so I don't feel bad about keeping it at like 73 in the winter. Opinion on BFA so far? That's a wide question. I'm definitely playing less than I ever have, but I don't know how much of that I can blame on BFA. I really love the content, these zones, these stories. The questing's been good, the dungeons have been great, the raids have been great. There's a lot of really great stuff. I just think that they did an iffy job on the reward structure, because the way they've done it, and maybe I'm just greedy and I just liked the gold train that was Legion and Warlords, and now that they cut off the gold train, I'm not having fun anymore. But that was the reason why I did a lot of stuff. Like, I don't touch world quests at all anymore. I don't touch emissaries. I'm kind of looking for reasons to log on outside of farming pets and mounts and stuff. And it's a little bit light because of how little gold you can make just by, like, you're not generating gold. Sure, there's ways to do it, but even herbalisms now it's only okay for your time invested. And then I actually don't mind the combat and the gameplay. I know a lot of people are dissatisfied with the state of their combat and their classes post Legion, you know, without the artifacts and with that just being replaced by Azerite traits. And I agree that it doesn't feel amazing to not really get anything new. Like, I know Azerite's supposed to replace the new talents or whatever we would have gotten in the last 10 levels, but they kind of don't. I don't know if I've ever had an Azerite trait that I ever had to think about. It's kind of like reforging, where, you know, back when with reforging, you would go and look up what to reforge. Now I just go look up which traits to pick on any given item, and then that's the end of that. And they don't really interact with my gameplay at all, so it's not amazing, but I'm also not like super bored in combat. I don't feel like it's not fun anymore. I just, I'm feeling under-incentivized to do it, so maybe I'm just lazy. The spawn points. I've gotten lucky with mounts this week. I got the Astral Cloud Serpent and just got the Fox Mount in Suramar last night. Nice! Congrats! Whew, I don't know if I have any foxes yet. Foxes are so exciting. Love catching you live. Hope you have a nice stream. Thank you, Felix. My boyfriend's wanting to get into pet battling. Any tips? Not sure if you've made a video or not. I have a half-done project that I need to finish soon that's just like the beginner's guide to pet battles. But basically, the biggest tip right now is just mess around with the BFA Pet Battle World Quest, particularly if they give polished pet charms, because those will scale down to your pet level, so you don't need to level your pets. So just watch a few like best pet videos. I know I have a few. I know Hira has a few to figure out which pets you just want to get. And then take those pets and just do some world quests with them, and that'll get you some experience. That'll get you some pet charms. That'll let you access more pets or leveling stones if that's what you want. But that's kind of the easiest way to do it. Is just do the BFA Pet Battle World Quest with whatever you have. Hi Hazel. What's up? Not unremarkable. How are you doing? Only 10k rep away from locking Void Elves and Lightforge, so I'm giddy with the journey nearly being over. You are almost there. It'll go. Are you gonna finish it? I don't remember how quickly you get rep. Are you gonna finish it before the patch? You got like, what are we, we're 1 week away from the patch. Goodness gracious, golly gee, I should be, I've got some stuff to do. First time viewing your live stream, was curious, would you suggest getting rep up before trying to farm mounts? Rep with who? Depends on what your goals are. WoW has so many different things that you could do, or that you could aim for, that it depends on what you want. Like, if you're trying to unlock an allied race, and you would rather have that than mounts, then you probably want to spend your time grinding the rep for them. But if you are already playing a race that you're perfectly happy with, then there's no real reason to grind rep outside of cosmetic rewards right now, unless I'm mistaken. Like, there's a couple of pieces of gear that you're going to outgear really quickly. So I wouldn't stress about rep. Like, maybe get your Champions of Azeroth neck, but like, if you want to grind, if you want to farm mounts, and you can farm mounts, then you go ahead and farm mounts. I wouldn't worry about rep too much. Might be your phone, sound a little soft today. I can turn it up a tiny bit. My mic is also a little lower than it normally would be, which I guess is good because it gets it out of my face, but it's because my mic stand is having a problem. It's I just need to mess with it. I didn't have a whole lot of time to try and experiment with tightening it again, but the one of the angles on it's kind of loose, so if I poke this, it's gonna fall over, so I'm just not touching it. That was me, the Tim Hortons tea. It's delightful, and now I'm gonna get myself some more of it because it's pretty good. Is it the same stuff? Do you know? I mean, I don't know who would know, but do you know if it's the same stuff they use when they make like their steeped tea? I don't remember. It's been so long since I ordered one that I don't remember if when you order steeped tea, if you ask for it, or if they have like a pre-steeped tea. I think they had a pre-steeped tea, and I don't know if it was the English breakfast or not. I hope you enjoy your tea. I'm drinking Tim Hortons English breakfast too with lemon. That sounds good. I don't know if I've ever actually messed too much with lemon in tea. Like if it's like a tea that already has like verbena or like lemon, you know, lemony flavors already, then I'll usually add like honey and lemon, or like maybe to an herbal tea like a chamomile or like a ginseng tea is good with honey and lemon. But like an actual just regular Butts black tea in the morning, I don't know if I've ever put lemon in it. I sipped at Earl Grey. If you're talking about the Dead Mines pet dungeon, you get 1 token per completion. I think I missed the question, but that is true. Full challenge pet dungeon, get 1 token for the vendor. Yeah, I think you do have to do it on the challenge mode if you want the tokens. I'm not 100% on that. I'm like 70% sure. It's been a while. It's time walking week again, is it? They come and go so fast. Time is just zipping right by me. It is Wrath of the Lich King time walking. I guess I should see, maybe that'll be the Friday stream, depending on if there's anything else going on, but see if there are any toys that I need. There almost certainly are. I hadn't been collecting toys until recently. On the Wrath time walking vendor that we can grind for. That might be good. I'm drinking Twinnings Earl Grey. Good morning, Hazel. What's up, Maddie? How you doing? Herbalism is a great way to get gold for like a month. Yeah, that's that lines up with my experience. I would agree with that. It's not, I mean, it's been so long since I played that I couldn't tell you what the best ways to make gold are anymore. Trying out the free to play on Steam game. Bless, help me appreciate WoW's polish a bit more. Yeah, I can see that. I can believe that. You know what WoW doesn't have is it doesn't have auto run to a point. You can't just like click an NPC on your map and have your character run through Borealis. I don't want that, but you can't do it in WoW. I got back into gold making, so I've been playing a lot more WoW than usual. I just need to get bitten by that bug again because and you'll see when I log in this character, especially because I don't have a pet came up, I'm like hard stuck at 1.6 million gold, and we're saving up the 5 for the Brutusaur mount. And you can't make gold if you don't play, but I just need to find a way of making gold that's fun again. I don't like doing it at the end of patches, at the end of tiers, because the thing that really does best for me is usually flipping, what do you call it? BOE epics. And towards the end of raid tiers, when you're about to get another overall item level bump in the game, those become kind of unstable. And I make bad investment choices, so I like to make sure that the environment is as safe as possible before I go dumping gold into something that I can hopefully resell. What game is this? World of Warcraft Battle for Azeroth. I'm going to hurt the Fort Livingston because I actually have that still. Are those hipster glasses? Only if you think I look like a hipster. Did you see Ryan's tweet about Hardened Tempest Hide being the base level leather for crafting in 8.1? About 10k so far, fingers crossed. No! Honestly, I haven't done any leatherworking or skinning in BFA just because they both looked absolutely awful. Just because crafted gear has such a minimal place in the BFA gearing scheme, and that's mostly what leatherworking is for, and skinning is really just for leatherworking for the most part, largely, that neither one of them looked profitable enough for me to even look at. I just bought a Switch on my way home. Grats! What are you going to play on it? What are you going to get for it? There's some actually good options now. We bought our Switch really late because for ages the library was just like, well, what are we going to play on this thing? But well, now I'm a Stardew Valley addict, so I have that on my Switch. But there's gonna be Smash. If you've never played Breath of the Wild, that one's really good. What else did we have that I was really excited about? I mean, there's the Pokemon Let's Go thing. I didn't actually get that up. I have a Switch. I didn't play Pokemon Let's Go. I don't really know why. I guess it was just a full-priced game that I didn't feel like I needed to spend time on because I'm already into Stardew. Don't you love waking up and not needing to go to work on a Tuesday? Maternity leave is so friendly. I love sleeping in. I hope you enjoy your day. Started doing arenas. Got to combatant yesterday. Grats! That's awesome. Are you getting the? Are you like grinding out for the hippo map before the end of the season? Because you're at the rating now where you can do that, and I think you'll have time if you play pretty consistently. I think you got time because they did say that the season is not ending with the patch. They will give us notice before the season ends, or at least they said they would. But it's not going to be ending with the patch on Tuesday, so there is some time. I should put some more time into that. I should play enough. I'm halfway there. I'm 50% of the way to a hippo. I need 53 wins. I just need to do, like, maybe just a, oh, well, no, I can't. I should not try to grind it out in a stream. But maybe if I do some streams. The problem is that I definitively, inarguably, play worse on live streams. Like, I'm like 200 rating worse of a player as soon as I turn on the stream. I don't even have to be looking at chat. Just the fact that I know someone's watching me instantly makes me worse. But streaming does have a way of making me actually queue, and right now that is kind of my problem, is that I'm not actually queuing. Still have to do the Celestial Tournament. Words. That one's a long trip. I wouldn't stress about rushing that one too quickly, because you need quite a few pets for that. That one's a tough one. I had all my alts parked in front of once a day pet battles and rares, and just do a circuit once a day. Once a day pet battles and rares. Like what? For stuff you can sell for gold? Rares that drop pets? Why am I so confused? How many mounts do you have? We're at something around the realm of 300 and 400 and 3 to 400 or so. That one's the total number. There is a smaller number that you look at when you're thinking about actually getting the achievement. So I don't have the 400 mounts achievement, but Diablo Immortal. There is actual Diablo, not Diablo Immortal on the Switch. That was the other one that I was thinking of, that looked kind of cool. I'm so old that a Switch is a piece of networking gear. Switches are still networking gear. You're not old. I mean, you may be old, but that doesn't change that Switches do still. I mean, I haven't had one in a while. I don't know if I ever actually had one. I used to sell them. Although I probably shouldn't use that as a qualifier for why people aren't old anymore, because it's been a while since I sold stuff. And it's just magnified by how quickly computers move, because I sold computers. So I remember most laptops that we sold, like 80% of them had 4 gigs of RAM and no USB 3 ports. And then like towards the end of it, they started getting USB 3 ports, and then like a nice one had like 8 gigs of RAM. And like that was like the thing. And people were all excited about that. And people are like, what are people ever going to use that much RAM for? And that was a while ago. And every year that goes by, it gets another year older. And I start to sound a little grumpier. So let's see. Bought some panda quarries. They're adorable. Getting used to my tank temp right now. Congrats. That's so exciting. Post some pictures or video if you have any in the Discord. I want to see. I love my pandas. They are so cute. So cute. You should buy D3 for Switch if you don't have a phone. I mean, I have a computer. I don't know if D3... I mean, maybe it would be better, again, like without the mouse thing, because that was my biggest complaint with Diablo, is that it was too clicky. But I also don't really feel a need to have Diablo in my life. You know what I should play? I should play StarCraft, because during the Black Friday sale... I got tipped off by a tweet from, I think it was Quintessence, that said that some of the Blizzard games that they have on sale come with pets. And what I ended up buying was it was like super on sale for Black Friday. And it was the collector's edition, like, mega pack. There's a better word for it. But basically it included collector's editions for not only Heart of the Swarm, which I actually already had, but Legacy of the Void and even like regular StarCraft. I don't know, but it came with 2 pets basically that I didn't have. That's why I bought it. It came with the mini Thor pet. It would have come with the Baneling, but I already had that. And then it came with, and it was also discounted because I already had part of it. The middle one, I don't know. Some kind of, here, let's see what we got. StarCraft. Yeah, I got mini Thor and Zeradar from that. But now I own, like, not only do I own every StarCraft expansion, I also own collector's editions of every StarCraft expansion. And it's been like 5 years since I played a tiny bit of StarCraft. I remember it being kind of fun. I was just playing the single player campaign, and I think that the PvP scene for that game has seen better days. I've been playing WoW since MoP. I finally got the Swift White Hawk Strider and Ravenlord this week. Congrats! Got the Karaji Battle Tank to pop my archaeology last week. I tied it around. That is a good one to show off. That is wait, why am I healing myself? There we go. I'm in a healing spec right here. That's a hard one to get. That's probably one of the rarer amounts of the game. One of these days, I want to try and find up some data, and I know people haven't. Hero probably has it, because I think he's made these videos before, but, like, of the least owned but still obtainable mounts? Didn't I do something like that? Maybe I did something like that for pets. I think I did something like that for pets. I looked at, like, the percentage collected across a couple of different sources, I think. and then looked at the pets, because I wanted to see what are the rarest ones that you can still get, because as interesting as they are to look at rare things that you can't get anymore, that's why they're rare, is because you can't get them anymore. So I thought it would be cool to look at the things that are still available, but that just nobody has because they're just really stupid to get. Hi Hazel, hope you have a great day. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for 8.1, and what are you most excited for? So I am probably like a 6 for 8.1. And I'm hoping, like, normally I get really excited for a patch and then I get kind of disappointed later if it's disappointing. And I'm trying to do it the other way around this time. I'm trying to temper my expectations for the patch, and then maybe it will pleasantly surprise me. I am looking forward to the leveling changes, because I think that's going to make it a great time to level alts, which might be fun. I have a history of enjoying leveling alts. I am looking forward to the island expedition changes that they actually just announced recently, so... I mean, also the new islands and, like, the new island mechanics that hopefully make it more fun to play through. But they announced a change where in 8.1, instead of your chances to receive an item being tied to how many mobs of that type you killed, it'll just be whether or not that mob was present. It will be like a binary thing. And if you complete an island that had stuff on it, like that had murlocs, then you will have a chance to get the murloc pet regardless of how many murlocs you actually killed, which lets you kind of play the island in a more natural way and just, like, actually get Azurite because it's points and that's the objective, as opposed to being like, no, I don't want to win yet because I want to farm this stuff more. Nintendo is not the right brand you want networking gear from. Oh, man. Why do you stream on YouTube? We've been back and forth and over and under that. I like it. Here is a short version of it. I toyed with the idea of switching recently, and we did some polls and we talked it over, and we're just better here. But that's not to say that I will never stream on Twitch. I just probably wouldn't replace the YouTube stream with Twitch. I would probably do a different style of stream on Twitch, and I shouldn't promise doing things when I'm not already doing the things that I already promised to do. So you got more mounts than me. If someone were to start collecting mounts, which do you think would be a good starting point? Achievement, rep, or loot mounts? I understand your question now about the rep. Sorry, I was thinking, like, farming, like, drop mounts versus grinding unrelated rep, but you're right, there are a lot of mounts for rep. If you're looking to boost your numbers... really quickly, I would start with, well, there's vendor mounts. So, right, I guess those are tied to reputation largely. So there are some vendor mounts that you can just buy with gold. Like, if you go to the mount shop in the Wrath of the Lich King's Dalaran, there's some mounts that you can buy for just, like, a couple thousand gold off of that vendor. And then if you're brand new, then yeah, start with reps. Start with the classic reps. So if you were Alliance, you would get some tabards for Darnassus, Exodar, Nomargon, Ironforge, etc. And you can buy them in the capital cities. Wear those, and I think you run Kata dungeons. You can also just do old world questing, and if you're working in Lore Master as well, then you can kind of tie those in together. But if you run Kata dungeons, I think you can grind those out pretty quickly. Somebody probably has a guide of how to most effectively get rep from those tabards these days. And those will get you exalted with these factions, and each of those factions have the racial mounts that you can buy once you're exalted with them. So that catches you up pretty quickly. Those are good reps to start with. Was it a battle chest? They used to do those. They had, like, some kind of weird name for it because it was specifically digital only, and also the deluxe editions, and it was kind of like a battle chest of digital deluxe editions for StarCraft. It was a little bit strange. I'm gonna hearth out of here. Heart of the Swarm was the second game. Yeah, that's probably true. I know next to nothing about StarCraft. I know that there's a lot of purple in their marketing. Purple and blue. Lots of cool colors. I'm doing archaeology right now. My health bar. So, like, the ones on the top of... So, my unit frames up here, like my target frame and my frame, those are shadowed unit frames. The health bar that appears over top of an enemy's head, their nameplate, that is KUI nameplates. And if you're ever looking for an add-on, I do have a video that I did that goes through them all one by one. You got a new sub? Thank you. Stuff like the Mythic Argus mount, the Red Butt Water Strider was on the list for least collected, still obtainable. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. Most people just got the blue one and were like, well, I'm done. Never touching that again. So let's skip down to this one. Did they ever mention whether you'll still need to unlock the Rotten Wooden Chest? I'm still the one Pandaren Fire Elemental away from the pet achievement. They didn't say specifically, but it was heavily implied that you don't need to worry about it. As long as there are elementals on the island, you should be eligible for that Fire Elemental. Ezra, thanks for the super chat. Hello, Hazel. Those Pet World quests helped me push to Exalted with Honor Bound. However, I got burnt out. R.I.P. No Dark Iron Dwarves. They'll be waiting for you when you come back, at least. I just realized no animal cam. I'm sure you have explained already. So, no big deal. The animals are fine. The camera is probably fine. I just didn't set it up today because I was having that glitching issue last stream, and I never got around to troubleshooting it. So I just want to make sure I have some time to look at it before I turn it on again, just in case. It wasn't too hot, but I just want to make sure that I'm set up properly with that. But the animals are all fine. I got a cat on my lap right now. You just can't see it. Hazel, I have company coming over Thursday night. What do I do with them Friday? Home cooked meal or out to a local restaurant? I think that really depends on how much energy you have and how excited you feel about it. I always prefer the home cooked meal, especially if they're family that you like, because it's easier to sort of sit around and talk and have a more relaxed environment when you're not out in a restaurant. And it removes some social pressures from the whole restaurant situation. But if you are tight for time or tight for energy, then there is nothing wrong with just going out and not worrying about cooking in the dishes. What I would probably do, the thing that sounds like me, and I don't know if I'm recommending this, but the thing that I would probably do is I would get the stuff to make the meal, and then on the day of, I would decide whether or not I actually feel like making it that day. And if I do, then great, and if not, then I just pretend I didn't buy the stuff, cook that meal later just for, you know, for something else, and then go out to eat if you're not feeling it. Andy, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. I appreciate the support. I hope you enjoy your access to your shiny new, mostly Hazel-drawn YouTube chat emotes. I don't mean to bug you with. I know you're busy. Do you plan on unpackaging the packaging soon? I know I'm making you wait absolutely forever on that. I want to do it before Christmas. I want to do like a pre-Christmas mail time. So if I'm looking at a calendar, I want to pick up the box one more time. I'm thinking probably here-ish. Maybe next week, but more likely somewhere in this sort of middle week. So the week before Christmas. But, so you know, somewhere sort of 17th to 21st is kind of what I'm thinking. It might be earlier, but I will try my very best to not have it be later than that. A week in Shatrath and a fortnight in Northrend were great guides. Favorite ice cream flavor. So, as a kid, there's like a lot of pressure on you to like pick a favorite everything. Like you have to have your favorite color and you got to have your favorite like song, and this has to be your favorite ice cream flavor. And as a kid, I decided that my favorite flavor was mint chocolate chip, which is still a delightful flavor of ice cream to have. It's a very good one. But the more I grow up, the more I realize that I don't really mind what the flavor of ice cream is, but if you can cram in like some caramel and some toffee and some nuts and like flavors along those lines, I don't really care what kind of nuts. I don't really care what sort of toffee or caramel. But like, you know, something in that family is always going to be good. And I don't even know what it's called, but usually I just look for the one with the most keywords crammed into the title. How is the new computer? It is delightful. It's working great. It's fast. It's fast and it works. That's all I really asked for my life. What's today's tea? Today's tea is Tim Hortons English breakfast tea. It's a bag blend that they offer, and it's nice. I do have both Ashes and Invincible, which doesn't sound like me because for a long time I didn't, but we grind them out on stream. I've been doing these Tuesday streams for a while, and before this, actually I don't remember before this we grind the Throne of the Four Winds Drake, but before that was in Ashes, and then before that was Invincible, and we just move on whenever we get one. It isn't actually as bad as it sounds, grinding out them all, because we just, you know, we do it once a week, and we hang out with chat, and we do them each 11 times, and when you run a raid 11 times a week, your odds aren't bad, you know, they're not amazing, but they're not bad. It's not, like, we've never been stuck on any given thing for longer than a couple of months, and a couple of months is just like a big handful of streams, really, and it's not like I don't really get too attached to the outcome of logging on to do my mount runs. I'm never really thinking about whether or not it's going to drop. I'm mostly thinking, it's Tuesday, I'm going to come chat with you guys. And then if it does drop, then that's just the best. Morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Finally caught a mount run stream live. I've enjoyed your vids, and now I get to hang out live. It's a good day. I hope that the rest of your day is equally awesome. I am probably going to clean a little bit, because I think we have There's like a bunch of construction going on outside, and I think there's people that need to come in for a bit today. They could come in during the stream, but I don't think they're not usually that early. But I will need to show some people around, so I'm probably going to clean up a little bit. I don't think anybody cares whether or not the apartment's clean, but I would rather it be not like an absolute disaster. And try and finish that PC video. I would really love to put out the PC build video tomorrow, and then just kind of like figure out which videos I absolutely need to get done before the patch. The one that I know I said super definitely, which means super definitely, is the I'm going to do a guide for the No More Gone Pet Dungeon. So I'm probably going to start on that after I get the PC video out. Oh man, that's good. Why is it called Invincible if you can see it? It's midnight here, but now I want ice cream. Whenever I'm at like and I don't end up in them often, but if I'm in like a convenience store, like a gas station, something about the freezer with like the pre-wrapped ice cream cones is like super appealing to me. And it's not like I've had them a lot, and I've had them before, and they're fine. They're not amazing. They're kind of expensive for what you get. But maybe I just like really wanted them as a kid, and that's like stuck with me, because those are usually the ones like they've got the topping on them, and then there's usually one that has like the caramel with the nuts in it, and those are always good. You finally finished your computer? I did. I finished it a while ago. I just haven't gotten the video out. It's kind of like BlizzCon, you know. BlizzCon came and went in less than a week, and then it was like ages before I got my video together. But I wasn't the last person to do it, so I don't feel that bad. Also, you know. It wasn't super time sensitive. We'd already talked about all the news. It was just travel footage. But yeah, no, the PC's done. PC's good. And my video contains some lessons that I learned while building it, which I hope are useful to you, especially if you decide that you want to go Threadripper. You may very well decide that you want to go Intel, and that's a perfectly valid decision that may save you some of the troubles that I had. The Threadripper chip itself, the installation was great and it works really well, but getting parts that were compatible with it was a little bit iffy. Can you rip some threads for us live on stream? I need to level 11 tunes and do these mount runs. I mean, why stop at 11, you know? The sky's the limit. You gotta follow your heart. You gotta go as hard as you want to go. Why do you hurt? If you just log in and back in the next day, the instance will be reset. If you log out in the instance, what I have found recently is that it just teleports you to your Hearthstone point. And these are characters that I haven't leveled yet, so I'm trying to leave them in a rested area. They're probably capped in experience by now, but I don't know. So I'm trying to leave them in a rested area to make sure that they are capped, so when I do level them, I have that rested. And then I think I don't know. Stream is skipping a bit. YouTube issues, stream buffering. Yeah, I can see it. I copied my settings over like verbatim from my other rig. Turn this down a little bit. And turn this down, up, and apply that. Let's try that. I made a couple changes. Maybe that'll fix it. It may hurt the quality a little bit, but it may not. I don't know. I'm learning all kinds of things about the different applications of bitrate and video. Stream's a little iffy. The stutter. Refresh the page. Fix the buffering. Can't refresh the page. I might miss something. I'm not doing anything other than trying to fix the buffering. Refresh didn't work. Now it's just frozen. It's looking okay. Mine started up again on my monitor screen. It does look like I'm moving again. We missed the story? What story? I'm trying my best to buff out Siege of Orgrimmar on my toon, specifically my Shami, to get the Corcoran set. Plateware for those nice shoulders, too much pain. I haven't been in that raid for a while. That one's one of the long ones to run. Like, as far as I know, there's not really any shortcuts, right? At least they made Galacrass soloable, I thought. Your stream was whacking out during your answer. I don't remember what question it was. There's a big delay. I don't know what I was talking about while I was streaming. It's not a mess, it's creative chaos? What were we talking about before? The computer was... it's good. Are you moving house? I would like... Well, not right now. That's not the reason why my stuff's all messy. We would like to, but I think we're just, like... We just don't really... It's very confusing and scary, and we don't really know where to start. And we don't know whether or not we can afford it because we don't know how much money we need. We have savings. We don't know if they're enough. We don't know what the market's like or where we'd be able to find something or what it would look like. And we just don't really know where to start with all that. So I don't know. If we run out of time, because you definitely don't want to like buy a house really quickly just because your lease is ending. If we run out of time and have to re-sign the lease, I guess we can re-sign the lease. And then if we have to break the lease, then we break the lease and pay for whatever that is. That's probably better than just trying to like find a house in a very specific window so that it lines up with the end of the lease. I don't know. But nothing concrete just yet. I would dearly like a Hazel house. That's kind of the dream. That's kind of the big life goal right now. Let's see. Are we good now? Should have gotten a thread knitter instead. I promise it's not the processor. It's looking just fine. I turned up the settings so that it's using more processor for a better, and it's still only at like 8%. It's okay again here. Did you get your stunted dire horn? You inspired me to start working in mine. I got 77 kills in 3 days, but 250 seems so far away. 250 is a big number, especially given how long it takes just to get Qs to pop. The best time to work on it is, if you remember, next time there is a pet battle bonus week. Next time that you see, like here, literally starts Christmas. Literally starts on the 25th. If you queue then, there's a quest, the weekly quest asks you to do pet PvP, so you get a bunch of people doing that just because there's a quest for it. So, you get faster queues then anyways. I just ordered a new case, slightly nervous about taking everything apart, putting it back together again. It's gonna be just fine. Just take your time, make sure everything is well lit, make sure that you're grounded, just touch your case a lot and don't like scrape your feet on a balloon or anything. And it's gonna be just fine. If you're nervous about it, something you can do is take pictures of your motherboard before you start unplugging everything, so that when you have everything set up again, if like it won't turn on, you're like, oh no, what did I forget to unplug? You have a picture reference of like, oh hey, you know, I missed the CPU power cable, or I didn't add power to my graphics card, or whatever. Like you have just kind of like how every time I take my keyboard apart to clean it, I take a picture of what my keyboard looks like. Just because when I'm putting keys back, I can never remember what a keyboard layout's like. Elena, thanks for the super chat. Love your streams, Hazel. Have a good day. Appreciate that. What part of Oregon do you live in? Not the south part. Refreshed it again, it worked. Resolution down to 480. We missed why you didn't leave them in instance. Oh, the stream's good now? Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a pretty wishy-washy answer. I basically said, wait, did I just log in there? Did I do that one already? I don't think I did. I basically just said that I'm still planning on leveling those characters, and I don't know if they have full rested yet, so I like to hearth them out to, their hearths are all set to Fort Livingston, so it's a very short flight anyways. And as far as I know, when you, I mean, I know I'm hearthing to Dalaran some of these times, but as far as I know, when you do log out in the instance, when it resets, it kicks you back to your hearth point. Like, I know in the past it used to kick you back to, like, a nearby graveyard or something, but I've had it kick me to my hearth recently. So I may as well just hearth back anyways. And then this, like when I use my hearth to get down to the area and then I do the run and then I just want to get out of there, I could leave it. It's not a big deal either way. I just like doing it this way. A house filled with fish tanks. At least a couple more. I would want to take it pretty easy to make sure that I don't get an overwhelming amount of pets. I want to make sure I can manage it and that it's not going to like take over my life. But I would love to have some goldfish. I know I said when I finished Fletus tank that he's done and I'm not going to mess with this tank anymore, and that's probably true, at least before I move, but I would really like to redo it with a planted tank substrate, like either a soil with a gravel cap or just like something like an eco-complete or a like the, you know, you've got the fluval stuff, or there's even the ADA soil, aqua soil, and then do some stem plants in there, because he's got plants, but they're kind of stubby, and they're not growing very quickly, because it's Java Fern, there's not a whole lot of light in that tank, and they're fine. They're in good shape, they're just not growing, and I just kind of feel like I'm making him, like, play with kitty toys, and I want him to have, like, big, fluffy, large plants that he can, like, they go all the way up to the top, you know? Emmy Canders, thank you for the super chat, and Aviator, thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that, guys. We started at our credit union. They had a class on what to do. Biggest thing is getting your credit and debt in order. I think we should be fine there. I think we should be fine. After I paid off my student loans, I became very anti-debt in general. And I more or less refuse to buy something unless I can pay for it in full. I'm not about the financing life, which of course I'm going to have to be for a house because I can't just like pony up enough for a house like in total, but I think that should be okay. That's a good place to start. Can't you meet with an advisor from your bank and see how much money you have for a loan and shop around a bit? I could probably do that. I could probably find somebody to talk to at a bank. Whenever both of us are out of our house at the same time, it's always this big thing of, well, what do we do with our dog? Do you know how to get the Swift Spectral Tiger? It's not in the mount list anymore. The Swift Spectral Tiger is a TCG mount. They are still available. They take those ones out of the list just so that people don't look at their list and think that they need to get it because they are very difficult to get now. Those cards, you basically have to buy one off somebody that has one, and they were discontinued a while ago, so it's just the ones that are left, which means that their price has gone up quite a bit. There are code selling websites that you would use at your own risk. There's also eBay. Again, use at your own risk. It's not unheard of for people to get scammed with stuff like this. And that's how you do it. They are also available on some auction houses because the mount does not bind to the character immediately. You don't have to have the card. If somebody else has it, they can sell it before they learn it, obviously, but you can sell them. So that's how I got mine. I got my Swift Spectral because there were some, this was back in Warlords when there were more of them around. But somebody was selling them in the auction house for, I think, between 1 and 2 million. And this is, again, back in the day. So it was, they've definitely, I think they're more expensive now. But I bought one off somebody. I actually didn't get it directly from the auction house. I saw that they had an auction house listing. And because it was such a high ticket item, if I had bought that on the auction house, there would have been a huge chunk of that gold that just, like, poof, vanished because of the auction house fees. So what I did was I messaged the person. I sent them an in-game mail. And was like, hey, if I meet with you if we can set up a time to meet in person and buy this thing, then we can do it directly through a trade. And then like that difference, that gold that would have vanished, we can split that. So you can make a little bit more than your listing price, and I can pay a little bit less than the listing price, and we're both happy, and they agreed to that. So that's how I bought it. I remember the riverbank in Stormwind where I learned the mount and got on it. It was so exciting. Okay, yeah, I'll leave this one in here. Why not? Have you heard that Blizzard is going to open up WoW to run in all of your cores? I heard something about that. I didn't read it very thoroughly because it sounded kind of, like not like an immediate plan, but that's going to be the day because that is one thing that WoW, that's the one thing on my new computer that runs about as well as it did before, there's not, like, running WoW on this new processor, it's fine, it works great, but it works about as well as my old processor did, even though it's a huge processor upgrade, because this one's, it's about the same speed approximately, which is why it's running about the same, but it's got way, way, way more cores. And the newer architecture that allows for more I/O and stuff like that, but it's about the same. I am running WoW in 4K, so that's something. I'm running WoW in 4K. I turned shadows off just because I don't care about them, and those are like a big stress in your graphics card. I could turn them on, I just don't particularly want to, but the view distance, I find if I put my view distance past 7, it starts getting bad. Like the frame rate starts dropping below 60, and my frame rate right now, I found I can't check my frame rate very effectively with this menu. It's usually, I like to keep it around 80 to 100, just because, I mean, I hope so with with this computer. But I have to keep the view distance down. And I was reading some forums online, and it was something about draw calls that were causing like too high of a view distance to cause less of your graphics card to be used. It was very strange. There were some weird support threads that I went through when I was looking at that. Taking pics of the motherboard sounds like a good idea. I've been watching lots of build guides. Watch one, follow along step by step. You're going to be just fine. That is exactly what I did, and none of that let me down in the slightest. The build guide actually I used... it's a really popular one, but if you see one by Bitwit, that one was good. It was real good. It showed me, it was nice and long, nice and thorough, very clear, very well edited, showed me everything I need to know, and the guy's pretty funny, so not a bad time. I have goldfish all the time, like the cheddar ones. Oh man, best way to get from 280 to 355? You want to do some war fronts, my friend. You want to go and kill the warfront rares out in Arathi Highlands. And then whenever you can queue for the Warfront, do that as much as you can. The first one will get you a piece of 370 loot. Everyone after that will get you, what is it, like 350, 355? Just like extra pieces like that. Also keep an eye on your emissary, but like the catch-up mechanism is Warfronts here. If you don't have any credit, as bad as bad credit, I have been steadily building credit ever since I moved, because I had pretty good credit in Canada, but apparently that does not transfer over. And when I moved here, I actually couldn't get a credit card because I just had no credit history here. So I eventually managed to get one like through my bank or something. And then I've been using that. So the way I build credit is I just put everything on a credit card and I immediately pay it off. I don't even wait for the end of the month. I pay it off like as soon as I put it on, as soon as it shows up. So that I'm never carrying a balance. I'm never paying interest on it. And then I should, now that I have hopefully some credit, I should probably try and apply for a better card that gives me better like kickbacks or something, because I'm not really, you know, I could be earning some points. Heaven knows I spend enough money. How's the new computer setup? It's working real good. It's working real good. A problem I've been having actually is when I'm trying to record for this video that I want to do. Whenever I watch other people's PC videos, at the end of it, there's like these really satisfying glam shots of the computer, and you're like panning over like this sweet, you know, you got your graphics card array and you're showing the cable management and stuff. And I don't know if it's just the lighting in here or the fact that I already have it down and set up on my floor and I do not want to move it back onto my desk for more recording. But it's so dark in there, like, and whenever I like add a light, there's just like a bunch of glare. It looks really bad. I can't get good looking footage of the inside of that thing to save my life. And it's a shame because there's, you know, I don't want the entire video to be just me sitting talking about it. I would like to show it some. 8.1 should help with multi-thread. Oh, it's coming in 8.1? Ooh. Hope multi-core thing's not tied to DirectX 12. Can't do that on Linux. I never even considered people playing WoW on Linux. Does WoW run on Linux? I mean, it must, otherwise you wouldn't be concerned about it. Earth, fire, water, or airbender? What? I don't know. I'm sensing there's a correct answer and I don't know what it is. Control R for FPS if you haven't rebound the keys. Have I rebound those keys? Because what I've been doing, the way I like the... Oh my goodness, you're amazing. That's exactly what I was looking for. I was doing it with like the GeForce Experience thing. I was setting that up just so I could monitor it, because the one when I mouse over the menu makes my frame rate jump, which like kills my frame rate. But yeah, it looks like I'm running about 100. Oh my gosh, that's the best. Is that tied to WoW? That must be tied to WoW. It's got like the WoW drop shadow. Okay, I was hearthing out of there. Yeah, 100's good. If you made ASMR, I would listen to it every night before I fell asleep. Oh, I don't think I can see myself doing ASMR. I also don't believe that I have an ASMR voice. Like, I've heard ASMR, and it's usually very soothing. And as much as I like myself, I do think that I come across as fairly squawky. Like an excited duck or chicken, especially if you make me laugh really hard. I got like a real good goose laugh. I'm deaf. It's sad to see the captions are off on some of your videos. Is this something you can change in the future? So, and hopefully the auto captions are helping out at least for the live stream. But usually if there's a video that I've done where I had a script for it, what I have been doing is uploading that as the captions. If a video did not have a script, I don't typically caption it because I talk very quickly. It's a lot of words and I just don't have the time for it. But recently I have not been uploading the captions because the YouTube caption editor was not working for me. Like, it just wouldn't save them. I should try that again. It has been a little bit, so I should give that another go. Stay away from any build guides from The Verge. Bitwit also had a video where he was kind of lambasting that Verge build guide, which is the only reason I saw it, because I think the original video is down now. Oh, that was a trip. I got Mimiron and Ashes for real. Nice. That's a heck of a week. I also saved the transmog gears from Island Expeditions. They're 310. Oh, that's a good tip for alts. That's the build guide I've been watching. The case I got is NZXT, very similar to the one he uses in the video, which would help. I used to have an NZXT Phantom. I had like the 001 black one. That was a good case. Don't pick it up from the top. Whatever you do, don't pick it up from the top. Taking a pic of the motherboard was beneficial when I had to replace the motherboard in my daughter's computer. That and step-by-step instructions. Yeah. It's intimidating and it's definitely scary, especially when there is a problem you have to troubleshoot, but it is pretty straightforward. It is surprisingly a lot like Legos. It's very much just plug things in and, you know, plug them in the right spots and plug all of the things in, and then you're mostly good. Make sure that your things plug into each other. That's a good step. If something's not plugging in, then don't try and plug it in and try and make sure you've got it the right way. I have the Amazon Rewards Visa. If you have Prime, you get 5% back. I applied for that one way back when I was first applying for cards, and I got declined from it because I didn't have credit history. I'm thinking of trying again because I do shop, well, I'm a little cool on Amazon right now, but I do shop there. And I do have Prime. Good morning, Hazel. Hello, how are you doing? Everything runs in Linux. It's a question of how bootleg a solution it is. That's a good point. That's a good point. You pay for credit card debt before the end of the month. I thought you weren't supposed to do that because it doesn't build your credit at all. I don't know. I'll find out. I'm not 100% sure on how it happens. I just know that I'm adamantly against carrying a balance. That FPS cancer is in WoW since forever. I can't believe I didn't know about that. Have you got any rare spawn mounts like the Time Lost Proto-Drake or the Void Talon of the Dark Star? No. Do I have any of them? I definitely don't have Time Lost. I don't need that one. I don't have Time Lost. I don't have Void Talon. What are some other examples? Usually, I haven't been camping stuff like that. Like, that's a little bit too... I mean, I've been camping Warbringers, obviously, here. I've got 2 of the 3 Warbringer mounts, but I don't know if that's, like, super what you're asking about. I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not a real rare... I mean, I haven't done it recently, anyways. Does run on Linux using Lutris. It converts DirectX 11 into Vulkan. Close to native performance as well. Cool. Do you think it's possible to get the long forgotten hippogriff without flying? I don't know. I don't know. I think so. I think people were getting that before they added flying to Legion, but I'm not 100% sure. Fragile $2,000 Legos? Yeah, very expensive Legos. They're less, I mean, I shouldn't say this. I'm not, don't hold me responsible if you break something. Do be gentle with stuff. But they're less fragile than you think, which is terrifying because obviously you don't want to plug it in the wrong way. And if there's resistance, it might be because it's the wrong way. But there also might just be resistance because sometimes you need some good force to click stuff in. Like my RAM, it needed me to really believe in myself to get it properly in there. And I had at least one time I tried to boot it up where the RAM just wasn't all the way in. Hey, ANX. All right, no ANX, no Proto-Drake, no Camel, no Void Talon, so none of those things. Have you ever tried David's Tea? It's a Canadian tea company. I used to have David's Tea sometimes when I lived in Canada. It was very expensive, and the tea involved a lot of fillers. Like, there was a lot of things in that tea that weren't tea, to the point that they were lovely, exciting, mixed hot drinks. But, you know, the actual tea in it never super impressed me for the price, for the amount of money that you spend on it. It kind of felt like buying very expensive potpourri. It's yummy, you know. If you like that, I'm not gonna hate on it. It's delightful stuff. It's just not the kind of tea that I've been buying lately. Good evening from Hungary. Hey Hazel, how you doing? I don't know how the revolving credit thing got started. It's highly recommended to just pay it off ASAP. I should probably learn more about. Oh man, that's not the one I need either. I need the amber one. I should probably learn more about these things before I just assume. It's just easy to like push it off and try not to, you know, stuff that's stressful like that. It's easy to just pretend it's not there. Something I need to do in next year is be way more organized about my taxes, because I do, obviously I pay taxes, everybody does, but I always have a nightmare at the end of the year when I'm getting together my expenses and my incomes, because they're varied and across a wide range of stuff, both the expenses and the incomes. And I just, next year, I'm just gonna like have a spreadsheet or something. I don't know why I haven't done this before, but I need to keep track of it as the year goes, as opposed to like scraping and trying to find receipts. Credit Karma will tell you a store. Deep Hole Mount Rare is a good example. Which mount are you going for now? Right now, I'm just kind of like, sort of flying around checking on Warbringer spawns to see if I can find an Amber Dire Horn. It's like a 1 in 20 drop rate, and I've killed the Warbringer that drops this thing like 22 times or so. But I just have, now because that's the last Warbringer mount I need to find that specific one up, which is less likely to begin with. And then maybe we can try some world bosses. I have them all and help people in the Secrets Discord find them. If you ever want them, just ping the Secrets Discord. You'd have them quickly. Like the rare spawn mounts or the Forgotten Hippogriff? Did you win yet? haven't won yet. I'm from Hungary too. Hi. I'll send you some of my luck. I got Shaw and Nalik last week. Do they drop depending on the color of the dire horn they're riding? That is my understanding of it, yes. And that is also how it worked for me. I think that's confirmed. So this one is the correct one. So yeah, it's the color of the dire horn. So if I'm feeling generous, I won't kill the wrong color. If I'm just camping one spot, sometimes I will kill the wrong color so that one respawns, because they spawn fairly quickly. So that's a no-go. They do respawn fairly quickly, but as far as I know, only the correct color will drop the right one. Hey Hazel, I go and get my new German Shepherd mixed doggo tomorrow. So excited. That's the best day. I'm excited for you. Run over to outside Throne of Thunder, kill Nalak if you don't have the Thundering Cobalt Cloud Serpent. Outside of Throne of Thunder. Throne of Thunder. Is that like up here? Nalak. Yeah, I haven't even been looking at that one. I'm still like all of the mop world boss mounts. I don't have any of them. I've only started running them really recently because I don't remember when it was that they made the change where they spawn more quickly, but that's nice at least. Any of them, Hazel? We do it all. All right. I'll try to remember. I need the Slate one. Have the other two. The Warbringers are a pain. It's mostly just been since the last one. If you can find a lower pop server to farm them on, like if you have an extra character, like an extra boost, is pretty much what I've done here. It's way less painful to try and find them out here. Why we do mass shares of the Timeless Protodrake where 50 people can get it in one spawn, which is amazingly fun but crazy. I didn't even know you could do that. I've never heard of that. That sounds amazing. That sounds like a remarkable display of shared humanity, to have somebody not get impatient and kill it before everybody is there. Like, that's some patience, but that's really cool. What are your thoughts on the WoW community, and who do you think is a favorite WoW YouTuber and streamer? A favorite or my favorite? I mean, you can't pick favorites. You can't pick, I mean, you guys can pick favorites. I'm not allowed to pick favorites. I think the WoW community is really good, though. I think that it's like the vocal community that you get online that talks about changes and whatnot. I think they're good. I think it's pretty good. It's not as toxic as some games are. It does get a little doomy. And part of that is because it's easy to be doomy on forums, and part of that is because as content creators, you are directly rewarded with more traffic on your videos and articles and whatever if you make them doomy, because people click on things that sound like the end of the world. And then people click on those, people make them because they click on those, and then people watch them because they've been made, and then they kind of like adopt those opinions. So you get like a lot of people saying this is like the end of WoW, when I really think it's just kind of a, you know, you've got kind of a dud system with Azerite, but it's not ruining the game for me, and they're certainly not, I hope they're not taking it in, like, you know, Azerite was a very specifically BFA system, so, you know, we'll play this expansion for a while. It's not going to be the best one, but it probably won't be the worst one, and then there'll be another expansion, and they'll try again with something else. Do you use all of your mounts or just collect them? So I try and use most of them, and the way that I do that is any mount that I get that's like notable in any way, that's not just a recolor, I set it as favorite. So I have like a whole big list of favorites, and then I just use the summon random favorite mount. You can just drag that to your bar. I just keybind that so that it pulls out a random one every time I mount up, and that lets me see more of them. Although I do kind of miss, you know, I used to, with alts, I used to pick out a mount that like thematically matched their race and class and like feel. And that was kind of fun. I do kind of miss that, but this way at least lets me see more of my mounts. I play on Lightbringer NA. If you turn on contributing for captions, I do have. I'm pretty sure it is on. I've had subtitles. Usually it's foreign subtitles that get submitted, but I do have it on. I'm pretty sure. Caption to help out all the other deaf and hard of hearing people. I do. It seems like a lot. I mean, I appreciate the need for it. It's just, I remember I had somebody that attempted to do it in my vlogs once, and they gave up after about 5 minutes because I just spit out an unnecessary amount of words. Let's see, we had to put out a kitty of 18 years on Black Friday, worst day of my life. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. It's a trick involving a warlock. Interesting. So did I fly past this one already? I think I did. Let's try, let's head down. We'll check out, what's his name? The Mushan dude. Galleon. We'll check out Galleon, then we can fly up and do, what do you call it? Shot? Doomy mount runs? Hazel might never get this drop again. It's hard to beat Warlords. There was a lot of good stuff about Warlords. I'm trying to think if that was my least favorite expansion. My least favorite expansion was my first one, because I played at the end of it, and I just hated being new. Like, I know everybody is all, you know, longing for their days of fresh discovery and being super into WoW because it's, like, all shiny and new. But I hated being new. I didn't know anything, and everybody expects you to know stuff, and it's very frustrating to have people, you know, new persecution is a real thing, and the faster I got out of that, the better. I did not enjoy Wrath because it was confusing and I didn't like it. And then Kata I thought was amazing. I know a lot of people say Kata was the end of WoW, but I really enjoyed it. I just killed all 4 Pandaria world bosses in Nada. Streaming will hope to actually have people notice me and can bring a change to the game. I mean, at the end of the day, the people that can change the game are Blizzard, and they're gonna either do it or they won't. And there's certainly a lot of value that you can do by expressing an opinion, and streaming and YouTube gives you a platform for that. But at the end of the day, if they're either gonna do it or they won't. I don't know how much community opinion directly influences. Like, obviously with huge issues like flying and whatnot, where everybody kind of gets together behind it, that's a valid metric. But I wouldn't over worry about it. Check out light mount, a profile from each toon. You can have it to use from a pool of set mounts. Oh, interesting. That does sound kind of like a good idea. I just recently got on board with mini map button bag. One of you guys told me to get this, and at the end of the stream I like downloaded it and was like, you're right, this is amazing. I can clean up my mini map, because I used to hate that it was just all over the place. It was just so messy. And now I just have all the buttons right here, and it's okay that they have buttons. For a lot of them, I would just disable the minimap button because my minimap was just too crowded. And then I would just disable the button, and then, what do you call it? Use the chat command. The best thing about BFA is that 9.0 can hold me up from here. Thank you for your videos. It made me want to play in days where I was dreading it before. I loved Kata, probably my favorite. Kata brought transmog, Kata brought account-wide pets, Kata brought account-wide mounts, didn't it? Kata brought account-wide achievements, or was that MOP? I don't know. I forget when they added all the quality of life stuff, but like a lot of quality of life stuff happened in Kata. The raids I had a great time with. I had a wonderful time leveling. All like the zone restructures were great. All of the art, all the stories, the questing. Like Kata was like the beginning of the era of their new world questing, which was really cool. So let's fly up to Shaw. Kata was the best S-Priest X pack. I liked the first patch of Legion. Surrender to Madness was my favorite S-Priest X pack. I don't know if we can say it was the best one, but I really liked it. Please stream on Twitch. Only stream on YouTube. Also stream on Twitch. For now, I only stream on YouTube. I may set up a Twitch stream, but it wouldn't be instead of this one. It would be a little bit different. It would probably be a stream with like a little, more focused gameplay, so like a little less chatting. The mini-map button add-on is called Mini-Map Button Bag, and I think the way they put that is, let's see, Mini-Map Button Bag, MBB. MBB. It's awesome. I also hated being new, especially since I didn't get into WoW with any friends. It felt like you couldn't talk to anyone because you didn't know anything. I had friends at the time. I had like my high school friends when I got into it, but they didn't want anything to do with me in game because I didn't know what I was doing, and that wasn't fun, especially when you're a teenager. Kata wasn't the end since it's still going. We're getting more expansions in a few years. The game that never ends. I am really curious about like where does it end? Does it end? Is WoW still going to be going in 100 years? Like I'm just very curious about how that all plays out and whether or not I'm going to be alive to see it. It's such a strange thing, because I mean, if you asked about it like 15 years ago, you probably would have guessed that there would be over or replaced, or there would be like something new by now, and I just don't know. Have you bought the Heart of the Aspects mount for the story? Yeah, I do have the Heart of the Aspects. I actually have every shop mount. I'm that person. I have every single shop mount. Some of them were gifted to me. Most of them I just bought, especially whenever they come out with a new one. I usually just buy it because they're pretty and I'm a sheep, I guess. I don't know. But I do have that one. I don't ride it much because that was like the early prototype of the Cloud Serpent flight animations, which are all over the place. They're very wiggly. They do make me a tiny bit motion sick. It's a little, I don't look at my screen as much when I'm flying anymore. I need to just mark on my map so I can remember where the heck this is, the spawn point. It's this one, right? This is the spawn point, I think. I think it's this one. So it looks like it's down. Like watching your mount run videos. Looking forward to catching an actual live stream. Good luck. Have a great day. Thank you, Vicious Vegetable. There's that name for you. KUI mount. You can use to set up various sets of mounts. Oh, okay. There's more than one of them. I mean, if it's done by the KUI nameplates, people. I'm a big fan of KUI nameplates. How can you use the secret find in Discord to get the rare mounts? I'm going to probably investigate that myself. I would imagine there's probably a channel for it, but I haven't seen it yet. I've only just heard about it today. The bag 1-3 add-on makes all in one big bag. I refuse to use any add-on that is going to make my bags into one big bag. I like my multiple bags. This one, well, not on this character, but typically I have, this one is for consumables, this one is for trade goods, this one is for equipment, and this one is for random stuff, and the first one is also for random stuff. And I have them set up in that way, and I use the clean bags function, and it's just great. And I don't want it in a big bag because, you know, I'm very much like a many small bags person, so I can kind of compartmentalize things. Oh, Kitty, you gonna leave? I want a hug if you're gonna leave. Oh, you're not leaving? Are you leaving or not? Well, you're leaving now. Hang on. Quick hug. Quick hug. Okay, now you can go. Okay. If you indeed do want to go or not. Off she goes. Where can you get add-ons for Mac? Same place as for Windows. I, on my Mac, have the Twitch app, and I download add-ons there. So if you just Google Twitch app, I think it's like twitch.tv/app, but just Google Twitch app, download that, and you can, that's how I manage all my add-ons. Void Form made me quit my Shadow Priest. Definitely a different playstyle than it used to be, for sure. I stopped playing at the end of Kata. Is it true that all of your Alliance characters are gnome? No, no, no. My main character is a gnome, and then this character happens to be a gnome, but they're not all gnomes. Most of them are Alliance. But I have a couple elves, I have a couple humans, I have a couple Dark Iron dwarves that I've not leveled yet. What else do I have? I have, dwarfs, a couple dwarfs. I like me some good dwarfs. So I'm looking for the Water Strider. I don't know why I don't have that on bar. Should probably just throw that over there. Oh no. This is what I was afraid of. I don't know if I need to replace this thing. I'm probably just gonna mess with it later. I know I can tighten it again. It's just like a really awkward thing. Like usually I just have to unplug this cable so I can spin it a bunch of times. Oh, I'm fatiguing. I'm fatiguing. Oh no. Oh no. Am I doomed? Am I doomed? Water Strider. I'm like right on the border, so I think I've got 20 seconds left. Okay. Whew. Heart of the Aspects makes me airsick too. Activision are trying their best to bury Blizzard. What do you think? I think that there is probably more to the story than we get from the live stream and some letters. I think that it's very easy for the community to spin a narrative because it sounds shocking, but I would be surprised. Oh, dust is up at least. One big bag is terrible. It's like having a kitchen with just one drawer. I didn't come back to WoW until midway through Legion. I don't buy mounts. I just use the Order Hall class horse. It doesn't have wings or wiggles around or anything. I definitely relate to the appeal of like a simple, straightforward mount, especially if you can find one, and I guess it must. If it flies, but it's not too wiggly and it's not too big, and it also looks good on ground, because there's lots of mounts that fly but like look kind of dumb on the ground because they don't have feet. One of my favorite ones is it's one of the TCG mounts, but the Ghastly Charger. And the Headless Horseman's mount's kind of the same thing. Like it's a horse that flies without any crazy extra business. But it's just like a nice spooky horse. Hi Hazel, hey Dalek, how are you doing? Some of her characters are just 2.5 gnomes in a trench coat. No, my secret. I like your guides. Do you know which are the best magical pets? Off the top of my head, not really. Best, like, for doing magic damage? Or just magic type pets? Like, you want a magic type pet. What do I actually use? Let's see, what do I actually use? I mean, way back when I used to use legs. But that's like an old one. I used to use him for, like, water damage. The Mana Fiends have like a lot of damage. Usually, honestly, I remember why. Usually if I'm doing a magic damage, what I have is a Nexus Whelpling. It's actually a Dragonkin pet, but you do Arcane Storm Mana Surge, and that's all the magic damage you ever need in your whole life. If you can't get yourself a Nexus Whelpling, they are a spawned pet on Caldera around the Nexus. So if you're in Northrend, they spawn around here, but there are fewer spawn points than they used to be, so they're kind of hard to find. If you can find one of those are really good, but failing that, there is a Stormborn Whelpling that drops off a rare real easy in Legion, rather. And that one has the same moveset. My favorite is the Headless Horseman's mount. I have the Ghastly Charger too, bought it on the auctionist back in Warlords for only 350k gold. Basically me, yeah. I didn't pay money for any of my TCG mounts. I did for a couple of pets. I remember back I bought like a couple of codes for like 10 bucks or whatever. But the TCG mounts I all bought during Warlords off the auction house in exchange for gold, and I'm glad I did, because you can't get them for that anymore, especially not for the prices that I paid. Like all of these, a lot of them, like I got the and I should probably not talk too much about it because it's gonna sound wrong, but a lot of them are like 100k, 200k maybe. Like the Amani Dragonhawk here. Nothing super crazy. So what did you say I should check out? Nalak? Nalak. So how do I even get out there? I don't know. I haven't done anything in this character. I haven't done anything on most characters. I don't know if I need to unlock the Yellow Thunder. Your mic falling is my life. You're gonna fatigue and die. Magic Broom. Favorite flying mounts that have good ground animations are Hippogriffs, and the flying isn't distracting either. Those are good ones. The Hippogriffs and the Wyverns, they're nice because they have feet. I still like the horses. I mean, there's some other really good ones. There's like well, now that I've said that, I can't think of it. But stuff like this looks great if you can fly, but nobody rides this around on the ground. You can't even see where you're pathing. Like, you get stuck on stuff, or at least I get stuck on stuff, and I can't 100% see what it is because I can't tell where my feet are. Hello from Sweden. The Jewel Crafting Panthers, those are another good ones. The Pet Tournament on the Timeless Isle. So I have a bunch of guides for that. Most of them are not outdated yet. There might be one or two that have been subject to some changes, but you get a bunch of pets. You get a whole bunch of pets that you level up for that. And then you're mostly using different pets for different tamers. You should challenge Asmongold to a mount off. How does a mount off even work? You just like get on a mount and then they get on a mount and then you're trying to find a cooler mount? Like, I don't know. That doesn't seem like why I buy mounts. I like mounts because they're pretty. Or why I farm mounts. Like, I don't know. I don't really get it. In WoD, TCG mounts were kind of cheap because they got duped. Oh, is that why they were cheap? Because none of them were like suspiciously cheap. The port by Shadowpen Garrison brings you to the island. Do I have to unlock it though? Do I have to unlock it? Also, how did I get to Dalaran? I think maybe I'm able to do my last run now. The Magic Broom is very good for the Deeb Trainer in the Garrison. Love the Friday stream with a Discord call. You should do a stream where we're all in Discord. I see the appeal. I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I trust you guys, but I also I just have a very thorough. You know, it took me like 4 years to get somebody else's voice on my YouTube stream, and that's because they have an equally long time of history of being a YouTuber that I know. I feel like I know what they're like and how they're gonna react and respond and things they're gonna say. Maybe on a Twitch stream. The Hippogriff wings sound like a flexing saw. Paladin class mount's good for ground and air. You get a mount. If he has it, he gets on it. If not, he gets on a different mount. Oh, okay. So you're not just like trying to like find a cooler mount. You're just trying to find mounts that they don't have. Okay. So you has more unique mounts. Well, I would feel like I was cheating because I mean, well, actually, I don't know. He probably has. I mean, he's Asmongold. He has everything. But how do people win against him? I feel like people that watch his stream probably know pretty well what he doesn't have, so they can just farm those ones. What is the mount that is your favorite of all of them? I don't really know, man. You know, I'm not super attached to any of them. The Swift Spectral Tiger was like, I think, a pretty happy memory when I finally saved up that much gold, because 1 million in Warlords to me at least was a lot. I had done, you know, it was an awful lot of doing garrisons every day and like 12 characters and flipping epics and crafting stuff, and that was when I first got into TSM and really got set up with it. So that was a goal that I was really excited to do and get. So that was a cool one. I don't really know. There's an orb on the boat you click on if you didn't do the quest line. Okay. Mount off is an EP thing. Asmon will never concede. He will sit there and wither away until you quit. Oh man, I can see it. The add-on that counts how often you killed a boss is rarity. Why is it pet battles force you with the same person so irritated? It's just because there's nobody else queuing. There's very few people in the pool queuing at any given time, so you tend to get the same people over and over again. It's just trying to get you the fastest match it can, but there's not very many people doing it. Good morning, Hazel. Hey, Maddie, how are you doing? He lost a few weeks ago. Was it for the first time ever? The Lucid Nightmare. Oh, yeah, I forget about that one. That was a good one. I was excited when I saw them announce that, and then I saw what it was involved in. I was like, oh, boy. Oh, boy. That's a trip. Yeah, the Lucid Nightmare and then the Dream Runner, too. The white and green rep one was pretty good. My favorite mount is the old school TCG Feldrake. The Feldrake, huh? This guy. I rode this, like, almost exclusively. Actually, during the run-up to Legion, before Legion came out, because this mount predates Legion by a lot, but it, you know, it's got it because it's fell and it's got the Legion symbol on it. It's just like a really cool mount to ride before Legion. I had that one, and then like, what else did I have? I had the hawk, I think the wolf, I remember, and then I call this the Mountain Dew hawk. It's just like a very specific kind of green. I didn't have the ground one yet. I don't have that one yet. Still waiting for my bus in the train station. Wanted to say hi. Morning, Gurple Juice. Aspen won because he found the one person with more mounts than him. The guy who has one of the most complete collections in the world. Dang. Have you gotten Ball yet? No. No, I'm so late on that one that it's like dropped in priority because no amount of doing it now is going to make I'm just into the abyss of, well, I'm very late on it. So it doesn't matter how much later I get, which means that I keep doing other stuff first. My next projects, I'm going to finish the PC build video and get that out hopefully tomorrow. We'll see. The edit should go pretty smoothly. The glam shots might not look very good, but what do you do? And then after that, I'm going to start working on the No More Pet Dungeon guide to hopefully do a decent job on that. I do not think that the Sethrak will become an allied race. I would not be mad if they did, but I don't think they're going to be an allied race. Bags are always full, so I keep mailing all my goods to my alts. If you haven't already set up, make sure that you have a junk seller. And then actually, one that I really like. So let me show you. What do I use? What is it called? It's not sell junk, is it? Vendor. Auto vendor. So auto vendor, you can set up to not only auto sell all of your gray items, but also to automatically sell soulbound gear that is under a certain item level. So if I open up my auto vendor options, I want to go flash auto vendor. Hang on, where's the interface for this thing? So interface, add-ons, auto vendor. So I have auto vendor set up to any item below item level 172. I have it to sell low-level soulbound items. I use that. There's also other stuff, but and then I have it auto repair for me as well. So I am carrying around a bunch of 108 soulbound stuff, which is below 172. So when I open up a vendor dialog, there's a vendor around here. Anybody want to buy my stuff? You do. It's going to automatically chuck all that stuff from my bags. It does it 12 items at a time. So if you do more than 12, you have to close it and reopen it. And then down here, you can see that it's showing me that I sold those 11. They sold for 433 gold. You can see how much you made from it. Items that have a BOE items, it won't sell. So that one's BOE, so it didn't sell it. Items with a use effect also will not get sold. That one is above that threshold, so that's why those ones didn't get sold. And you can also add items manually to that list by typing /junk and then linking the items. So if I wanted to always sell these roasted beef, I never want to keep roasted beef, it goes /junk, roast beef, and then the next time I open the vendor window, it's going to take those and sell them. So that's how I do all my bag management after my mount runs and stuff. I could not, I am so bad at automatically selling, or accidentally selling rather. I'm so bad for accidentally selling my gear. Back in Warlords, I was so excited when they added the item recovery because I kept disenchanting and selling my own stuff when I was disenchanting the guild loot or selling stuff from mount runs. So this doing it by item level automatically is way better for me. Okay. LVY has a junk seller built in. Hi Hazel, happy to miss you. Hey Christina. If you do ball, then get the waste of time transmog, make sure you turn auto vendor off. You need some gray items for waste of time. That's a good tip. I don't know if I want the waste of time because it's one of those things like with the time lost proto drake. I feel like it's named the time lost proto drake because you're going to lose your time, and I feel like I can look at that and go, you're right. That is a waste of time. So when it's literally called a waste of time, I feel like I probably shouldn't waste my time. Do you have any vicious mounts? If you do, how did you get them and what tactic did you use? So I have some vicious mounts. I have the ones that I got back in Warlords. So I have the Alex, Strider, Ram, Steed, and Saber. I'm missing a bunch of them, obviously. I haven't PvP'd in a while. But back when I did them, it was less about a strategy and more about just I used to PvP back then. So I would Q3s, and then when you Q3s, you get them over time. I am on my main PvP character, halfway to the new Vicious Hippo, and it's basically the hardest part is just finding people to play with, which I've been just pugging lately. I had 2 people were mad. Oh man, so I think I am finished for today. I am going to leave you guys. I'll be back on Friday. I should be able to bring the pet cam back by then, and hopefully have a video or 2 out between now and then, because it's only Tuesday and we got some time. Thank you all very much for watching. Big thank you to our new member and also to our super chats. If you are a member or if you are a Patreon supporter and you haven't got your wallpaper yet, if you want it, they're cute. Those are in a Patreon post. They're also for YouTube. For YouTube members, there is a post on the community tab that you guys can see where you can download that wallpaper if you want to use it in your phone. What else? I think that's it. Thanks, guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.